Hello, Sandra Embleton here, and I am just being guided to just give a quick little talk about sharing our journey with others. When you are afforded the opportunity to meet somebody and you can feel an energy between you, and the subject of spirituality comes up, or somewhere there's an opening, and then you just start to have a dialogue with someone that's going really, really well, and then you're kind of going, I think this is another spiritual person that I can connect with, and you start using a little bit of the spiritual language, seeing if they relate to what you're saying, if they're, oh yeah, I'm really into that, or I'm not, whatever. You may feel that you can share a bit of yourself, or sometimes you can feel you'll share more. And I guess when you are sharing your journey with somebody, you would have to have the confidence they weren't going to judge you or laugh. Especially if you've had a hurtful journey, a painful journey, or you're in a painful situation even right now. Perhaps you feel you're the only person that thinks the way you do. How come I'm so different than everybody else? I think we all have those fears. I think we all fear, oh, I'm so different. People won't believe me. I'm so different. They'll think I'm crazy. I'm so different. Or I haven't found anyone who's had the same spiritual encounters that I have. So something must be wrong with me. If you can allow that fear to let that fear go, because that's the truth of it. There isn't anybody who's had your spiritual journey. There isn't anyone you'll find that has had your spiritual encounters. They're not meant to. They're all meant to be different. So now you stop looking for some sort of normalcy or continuum to the patterning. Now you go, oh, everyone's journey is supposed to be different. Their journey is so different than mine, and their journey is so different, and mine's so different from theirs. So we don't want to compare our journey. We just want to listen to somebody else's journey. And if God's brought somebody in front of you to share their journey, there's a message there too. Like you're being given a lesson, a message, something you can learn, something you could see, and embrace that, and honor that if someone's feeling comfortable enough to share themselves with you, that you honor them and you just listen. You listen to them. It's having the art of learning. Don't share yourself with people who don't want to hear it. That's the secret. Because if you share your spiritual self with someone who doesn't want to hear it, they dismiss you, and you feel belittled, and you feel negated, nullified, objectified. So it's like, oh, you're not going to respect what I hear, what I say, or what I know to be true, then I'll stop sharing myself with you. And find people you can share yourself with. It's like getting over the fact that not everyone in your family or any of your friends are going to know what you're talking about if you're on a spiritual journey. And for some, that's very daunting, because the aspect of losing friends and relationships that you've had for so many years, oh, do I want to risk that? But then at the same time, there's so many new ones ahead of you with like-minded individuals that you'll draw to them, the ones that you're meant to connect to. And if you're not meant to connect, it won't happen. I was actually at this one spiritual store, and there's two other women I was speaking to, and well, maybe three at the time, and we're talking about finding like-minded people to connect with. I said, well, why don't we start a meditation group? You can come to my house. Oh no, I can't do that. This, no, we can't do that. Oh no. It was like every reason why they couldn't. And I'm sitting there going, well, don't try and talk them into it, Sandra. It's a no-go. You put something out there, it was a no-go. They argued with her, so they argued with me, so I dropped it immediately. Just shut up, then. This isn't meant to happen. So to have those lessons and be able to act on them in a situation, then you're getting into your mastery. Your ability to have awareness wherever you go and continually move inside to the being that you are. That's real progress. That takes time and dedication. It's just the confidence. It's the confidence of knowing who you are. And you can have the best intentions and the best advice to give people that you come in contact with. But if they are not vibrating at a level like you are, and they're arguing with you and they're negative, walk away, because they can't hear you. They can't hear you. So your words of wisdom are falling on, they're not fertile. They're not being heard, they're not being taken in. And just understand that maybe they're not meant to learn that from you. It doesn't mean you don't know your stuff, because they don't get it. It means, oh, they're not, I'm being a little aggressive here, giving them all this information, they can't retain it. So then you pull back and just ask people where they are. So many people are in the fear of being taken or made a fool of, in the fear of, what do you really want? What's happening here? Well, it couldn't be from God. Believing that the world is a scary place, that there's shysters out there, charlatans, people that would take advantage of you, that would, con you into something and make you look like a fool. If that's your belief, what's out there, you're going to find that every single time. Because you create that out of your fear of that happening to you. You create it and draw it to you, rather than go, I am protected by God. I am in His kingdom. I am one of His servants. I am protected at all times. And I am always led to places where I'm safe, and where I can be comfortable, and where I'm protected. So you are constantly being guided and cared for all the time. So I think I meant to stop that thought. Oh, yeah, I think it was. Yes, I know where I was. Anyway, after a while, I felt the energy drop talking to these women, and I just went, "What am I here for?" Like, they're in the fear and they can't hear me. And then I had compassion, and then I pulled back, and then realized that their lower self cannot hear me, but also had the confidence to say, I don't care. Not I don't care, but I'm not here to talk to your lower self. I know you're in the fear. I can see it. You can't hear me, but I know this meeting, we're meant to be together, and this is the information that is to come through to you. And how do I know it? It's because it's coming through me. It's not my opinion, it's not my judgment of them. It's God can speak to them through me, and God could speak through them to me. The message I got was, not everybody's where I am. And there's a lot of people that are just starting their spiritual journey who have a lot of fear to let go. Because the idea of being like a child, trusting that you're protected and God will bring you good things to mirror you. That I knew that person was a great person, a great being in a past life, because I could feel it and I could sense the majesty of her energy. But she's unaware of it. She does not know the energy she carries. Thank God He's got her on her journey to awaken to it. But the conversation that ensued between us planted a seed in her. It was, I see you for your highest good. I see you. I know who you are. I know that you are a very, very wise being. That you have been a Buddha figure at one time. And just the love and compassion that were emanating from her face and her soul, it just came through. It came through and looked at me. And I recognized it and I went, oh my God, that's like the Buddha. So smart energy. And it was a Hindu Indian deity. Maybe it was just maybe Mrs. Krishna or something, I don't know. But it was lovely. It was lovely. So I spoke to her higher self, not mean or anything. I just thanked her so much for being who she was. And acknowledged her on a higher level that we met again. This lifetime we were able to meet again. No matter how brief of a time it was we got to meet, we got to connect again. And isn't it wonderful that I had the conscious awareness of who she was and who she was to me in a past life, that I was able to thank her for all that she had done for me. So when you are able to hear things or able to know things, and then you know others can't know that, or they don't hear that, or they're unaware of it, that's okay. Sometimes you'll be guided to say what you have to say anyway, knowing, you know they're not going to hear it, but their higher self will. Sometimes you're there to deliver a message to their higher self, not the person that's standing in front of you in the physical, and I think that's a good guideline. It's something to ask yourself. If something's coming through, is this for me? Am I being guided to say this? And just be gentle. Sometimes you have to go back and remind yourself to be gentle with those people who are just starting their journey. Encourage them along, because they're being called. They're being called to awaken. And often a meeting in the present, in the now, can have great meaning in the future. Like, you don't know why you met that person at that time or on that day, but down the road you meet them again, you go, oh, I know them, or oh, they gave me this message, and right, and you can thank them for it, or whatever. It's nice. So honoring the journey and letting go of being your journey looking different than others. And now sit back and embrace your journey as being different. Look at all the good things that have come to you, and not be the worried, what am I going to do? What if it doesn't happen? What if I don't know? What if I make a mistake? What if I'm not supposed to go here to school? When you let go of that and understand, you'll be guided. You watch for the signs, and you do your best to watch yourself living your life. Be the witness. Pull back. See yourself in your family, in your situations, where you are, at your work. Just see yourself in who you're being. When we share ourselves, when we are transparent, we give people, other people, permission to be themselves. And then we break out of the mold, out of the matrix, when we start talking about things that are real. When we're not in a rote, how's the weather, what are you doing, how's your family, oh, what are you doing? That is a rote, that is communication between us, that means that it's super, what's the word I want? It's fictitious, it's just on the surface, and so superficial. What we want to do is develop those relationships where we can speak the truth in, and some people cannot do that, and that's okay. Let them go, and maybe in a little while longer, after having met you, they'll remember some things, and they'll start to, your consciousness will grow, because we never know when we speak truth around someone if they'll take that seed of truth and swallow it and grow it, or throw it away. So the best you can do is hope that giving new thoughts, new ideas, coming from the heart, not to control, not to say, oh, you're doing it wrong, do it my way. That's not the spiritual path. It's the consciousness that we all are experiencing God, and everyone has their own experience. Everyone's in their own world, and everywhere you go and you see all those people, they're all having the same experience you are, and you look at them and you wonder, how far along are you in consciousness? What do you know? Are you asleep? Are you awake? And I love to look at people and go, are they asleep or are they awake? And if someone's awake, let's play. Let's have some fun. Let's talk real things. Let's be real about what is really happening. And it's more fun to be real. It's way more fun. Okay. Continue sharing your journey, but share it with people who can hear it. And those who can't, just keep it back. Just keep your cards close to your chest. Don't tell them everything. That's a tough lesson to learn. Holy smokes. That's a tough lesson to learn. Yeah, because sometimes telling people everything you do or what you've done, you're looking for their approval. You do good things, you keep telling people the good things you do, looking for their approval. It's a way to seek approval. When you receive the consciousness that it's just like you stop, you realize you're an island unto yourself, you're the captain of the ship, and you're looking around going, oh, I can think any thought I want. I can believe any belief I choose. And then now it just depends on how radical you are, what you want to see. Like Alice in Wonderland, name 5 impossible things that could happen every single day. Things that are impossible. Just name them, which in itself allows you to open up to creating possibilities out of impossibilities, because you couldn't think of it if it wasn't possible. That's the beauty of it. You can't get a thought for you to do that's not possible for you to do. And that's how God protects you. He doesn't give you too much. He gives you what you're here to do. And your job is to figure out what you're here to do. Once you figure that out, just do it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Thank you.